In all of this creation, it is life that is given. Once given, it is ours to do with as we will, that we have free will, that it is us who determines how we spend it, use it, ruin it, waste it, heal it, grow it. But what if our free will has been so meddled with, so other influenced, that we only think we have free will? And I say, the only difference between knowing and not knowing is that we think we know. Who pulls the strings? Who or what messes with our minds? Even near invisible parasites can affect our mood, our behaviors, thus determine our thoughts and actions. Parasites in the form of persons and those that are unseeable to us, either material or spiritual, also can significantly infect us and our way of thinking, being, doing. Free will, then, the only true path, is to will our path to divine creator energy. Call it Jesus, Yah, God, Prime Creator. We will ourselves to the one true living God that is in all of us, divine, inspired, creative, selfless, and loving beyond measure. One could say that if we do this, then we are not really free, but rather dependent. Well, aren't we? For aren't we dependent on the air we breathe, water we drink, that we eat or perish, that we move, create, and build or waste? Knowing we are dependent on these essentials of life, our awareness must be on the source of these, their preciousness, their pristineness and purity. Without our awareness for maintaining their integrity, without giving everything over to source in love and gratitude, our free will can likely become ill-influenced by forces and sources that do not support our best interests or even our best intentions. It is giving back or paying it forward in mind and spirit that feeds our soul, guides our life. And I say, life has us. Life does with us what it will. Our part in it is the free will to turn it over to God in gratitude and live a graced life so long as it is given. And so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. This is for sheriffs and Leos, that thin blue line. Are you aware of the Accardi Doctrine? Accardi? The Accardi Doctrine is a principle of administrative law that holds government agencies must strictly adhere to their own regulations and procedures, named after the Supreme Court case United States ex rel. Accardi versus Shaughnessy, 347 U.S. 260, 1954. The doctrine provides that when an agency fails to follow its own established rules or procedures, its actions are generally considered invalid. This principle ensures fairness in administrative proceedings and is grounded in fundamental notions of due process and fair play. The doctrine applies not only to formal regulations published in the Federal Register, but also to internal procedures and guidelines that establish procedural and substantive restraints on agency actions, even if the guidelines are not formally published. The Second Circuit has ruled the Accardi Doctrine applies. The era of he who can be deceived, let him, is de facto. That is not Amendment 7. In suits in common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of common law. Article 7 amended removes original jurisdiction by eliminating choice and knowledge, by implementing fraud upon the people. Well executed fraud, brought to us by the fettered counsel of the Oregon State Bar Association. You know, the ones on Salem, a guild or FARA member. FARA stands for Foreign Agent Registration Act. They take an oath to the bar. They're not us any longer. The one that is required by color of law to represent you. No other counsel is permitted. No first friend. It's not common law. That is a due process violation of an unalienable right made by a group that offers or offered Esquire or JD as a title, the Oregon State Bar. Esquire is a title of nobility for the British Accreditation Registry. How does that work in a one-class constitutional republic? It does not, but it works in the U.S. Army Lieber Code, martial law, updated as recently as 2018, just before COVID, when the beneficial form of martial law masquerading as a democratic republic turned malevolent. Oregon and Delaware are the two states without a fort or military base or presence. Several of us, no, many of us, damn near all of us, that have a sense of balance that we actually prefer with a preponderance of evidence. We like correct over wrong, enough light over insufficient or excessive light, good over evil, real over fake, an absence of fraud, honest over dishonest. A full belly is better than a hungry belly. You realize misprision of, pardon me, you realize misprision of felony morphs into accessory after the fact. We cannot do this alone. You must comprehend what your honor entails. No one can do that for you. You do it for you. If you are so pragmatic that you think you can violate our unalienable rights to serve the best interests of someone or something else, you've broken your oath. Quit, move on. We are no longer deceived. Our sheriffs and the color of law Salem oligarchy are part of the problem. Misprision of felony. You cannot even keep your own color of law. The de facto ORS 206, DPSST, county HR, and recorder oath and bondability to the laws of nature and nature's God included. It's mindset. And most of the mindset is since 1947 with MK Ultra or its successors or assigns. I was a U.S. citizen and did not even know what that meant, only what I thought it meant. He who can be deceived, let him. When the person you are addressing about the Constitution that they took an oath to says, I need to talk to legal, they need someone to tell them what to think. This much all of you are responsible for. 1. The Oregon Constitution circa 1859. 2. The United States of America's Constitution circa 1859. 3. Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 2 volume, 1856. How can you expect to be a sheriff, a deputy, a bailiff, jailer, police with an oath when you need counsel to know what your oath means? You really need a different job. When something clicks, then the change happened. Mine clicked, and the resolved frauds into some clarity to me when I was 75. The U.S. Navy tested me and found I was really smart 67 years ago. They had me fooled for 75 years. It is hard when everything you have learned and you knew turns out to be a lie. Thinking about this leads to rabbit holes and bells getting rung that you can't unring, visions seen that are in total recall. It's not opinion when dealing with law. We know what law is and how it is defined. Courts judge law. Juries decide facts. Judges deal with issues of less than $20 in suits in common law. Article 3, Article 7, Oregon, Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record. It took several years for www.orsja.org to figure this out and to implement it step by step. The same bunch that acquiesced and defaulted without rebuttal for 7 years. The de facto cannot stand with the jure and probate in open court. They are so bogus that you run the gulags for the for the Salem oligarchy. And I yield.
My name is Gary Dean of the family Darby. I make this call to sheriffs, one and all. The ball is in your court. We kicked it into your jurisdiction, which is separate from ours. Alas, it really is one team, you and I's. It is, or rather should be, one jurisdiction. Your training, probably from childhood, has been to join the realm of the corporate jurisdiction, which is the entity that pays you to do what you do. You can join our team, that is, of the people, with a simple turn of a mind switch. A tool to assist in this process is to consider taking a proper oath to the proper constitution, which with its original jurisdiction, and with the laws of nature and nature's God, as stated in our unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America. The last several months, we have posted and made publicly available that which we consider a proper oath for the persons in our governance. Sheriffs are our first effort at insisting on a proper oath, for it is the sheriffs who are in their county position to protect and defend the people from ticketing or sending people to the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts that should not be. From governance, overreach, and taxation that takes seniors' equity, their forever home, and all that they possess by enforcing convictions. It's like a shift in the mind. It is the recognition of one's allegiance to life and that which is God-given. Rather than criminalizing living God-made beings for a dead corporate entity, our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. Taking a solemn oath is needed for there to be remedy in our authoritative system of governance. Once a sheriff cognizes the importance of the proper oath, they can see themselves as one with the people rather than a corporate entity meant to enforce our compliance to the bidding of the state. Therein is offered greater freedom, cooperation, and peace in all of our dealings. Let it be so. And I thank you.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.